At E3 this year, we got a new trailer for The Wonderful 101, a Wii U game which I'm really looking forward to. And I've noticed that no one on YouTube has really analyzed a trailer for The Wonderful 101. I mean, a lot of people have done it for Pikmin 3, but never for The Wonderful 101, which always confused me. So, I think I've had enough, and I'm going to analyze the E3 trailer for The Wonderful 101 myself. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first off we can see the new logo for the Wonderful 101, which looks pretty cool. We've got the logo for the group, I guess, which is a W with wings. And we can see right here that it was originally 100, but then this 1 replaced the second 0. And you can see that kind of looks like Wonder Red, the leader of the group. And I'll get into this in a little while. Let's get started. Okay, let's rewind. Oh no, a little further back. So we can see that Wonder Red's motivation to fight is that the aliens have separated him from the kids, which I'm assuming he teaches because they refer to him as Mr. So I'm assuming because those kids are little and they refer to him as Mr., Wonder Red in his real life is an elementary school teacher, and his name is Mr. Wedgwood, as they just said. And I guess this is his motivation to fight the aliens. Now, before he morphs into like his wonderful form, I'm just gonna call it. Look at this pendant or necklace he's got wearing. I think this is how they become in their wonderful state, as I'm gonna call it. And that's can be supported because I see these on other heroes, and we will see this later on.
Wonder Eyes Red!
And that's apparently how they become their wonderful state. They say Wonder Eyes and the color which they are at. Kind of reminds you of the Power Rangers. Oh, and you can see in the background that the city they defend is Blossom City.
Team, unite up! Roger!
Now, we can see here we have Wonder Red and Wonder Blue, but where's Wonder Green and Wonder Pink? I think this is because, like, originally, maybe... I'm theorizing that maybe the Wonderful 101 were like a group of heroes, but they separated, and now they're back together to fight the aliens. And because of this, they've been separated, and now they have to re-find each other. And that's why Wonder Red and Blue are the only two main people who are with them now. And we can see this weird robot guy, which we've seen like analyze enemies and talk. And let's take a look at some of the heroes in the background. You can see these necklaces on some of them. This guy has a post box for a head, and this guy has a Famicom controller there. Pretty interesting. I bet we'll get a lot of Easter eggs like that. Okay, notice how this number up here went up. Let me rewind a little bit to show you that. I know, further. See, it says 27 now, and now it says 30. So this probably represents how many heroes you have with you.
Wonderful 100. Deploy and eliminate those enemy forces on the double.
Okay, first off, notice how that guy said Wonderful 100 instead of Wonderful 101. This is probably because there's only 100 of the heroes, and this can be supported by an earlier trailer in which it originally referred to them as 100, and at the very last minute it said Wonderful 101 because we forgot you, the player. And that's because probably there are 100 heroes, and they're called the Wonderful 101 because the player is the final hero, which is a pretty interesting thought when you think about it. And as for that guy who told him that, maybe he's a military leader or something, which means maybe the Wonderful 101 worked for the military. It confuses me because I always thought they were just free-range superheroes which protect the innocent with no cost. And we can see here, he said, "Unite hand," obviously. But he didn't do that when he was fighting the enemy. And I think this is because you have to unite in certain cutscenes to do specific things. Like, he probably would not be able to grab this shield with just his regular hand. He'd probably need the united hand. Before I continue on, let's look for that necklace thing around Wonder Blue. Okay, I'm going to pause and unpause. Right here. And as for what he is in real life, we can only assume because we don't see like how his motivation to fight is. So let's see. Long hair, kind of a chilled out expression, and a messy shirt. Well, so look at that belt, it's kind of changed. So I'm assuming Rockstar or like Sword Master because of the sword. It's just what I think.
Feel the sting of my Maliantium blade!
And apparently his sword is called the Maliantium blade. So maybe the other weapons have special names like the Magma Fist, or the Super Gun, or the Whip of Whippiness. What am I saying? Let's keep going.
Unite sword!
Okay, look here, a few things. First off, there are 100 heroes currently with them. And look at this weird mask he's wearing, because originally the mask only covered, like, his eyes, but now it's covering his mouth. I'll get into what I think of this later. Now we can see a new ability for the sword, which apparently is, like, reflect lasers. We also see this in another gameplay trailer, well, not a gameplay trailer, just gameplay we see, which is also on YouTube. Maybe I'll put a link to it in the description. Now we can see Wonder Green, and I just paused here, and look, he's got that necklace too. And look, he's got a purse satchel thing full of candy, and he's wearing overalls. What is he in real life? Well, I'm getting kind of a comedian-esque vibe out of him. Maybe he's a candy salesman, maybe trying to look nice. Makes sense, because he's kind of chunky. Trying to be polite here. And we can see here he is using the gun for these airborne enemies, which is probably because it'd be the best option. I mean, to use a gun for airborne enemies, it makes sense, don't you think?
You're mine to go! Adieu!
I'm sorry, but I just find that really funny. Adieu! Oh, and we can see here that there's a hero inside the bullet, which isn't surprising, but it makes me think, what if a certain hero was in the bullet, like Wonder Red, for example? Maybe it'd be more powerful, which maybe could lead to some speculations about the ending, per se. Like, say, Wonder Red turns into a bullet, or no, he's inside the bullet, and he's fired into the final boss to do maximum damage and defeat him at the cost of his life. That'd be an interesting concept. Maybe it is. Sorry if I, like, spoiled the ending.
Time for that alien to use a missile!
We've already seen that, heard that line, and seen this footage before in another trailer. But anyway, we can see Wonder Red is using the hand to control this flying thing and shoot stuff with that three-headed dragon we've seen in the background. Maybe that's how you fight him. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, notice here how they drew a line around this thing, and it suddenly spread of flowers and came into life. I think this is another effect of the aliens, like, maybe Blossom City has lost its blossoms, and now, along with defeating the aliens, the Wonderful 101 also strives to make it more beautiful and fix it up. Kinda makes sense, don't you think? Before Wonder Pink goes wonderful, we can see that necklace around her with the Wonderful 101's logo. It's a little hard to see because it's at an angle, but you can still see it. And as for what she is in real life, well, we can see this whip with her, and she's wearing these weird boots, which seem to be made out of animal skin. And from all that, I kind of get a vibe like she's in the rodeo or something like that. That's just what I think. Oh, and we see the whip in action here. We'll see what it does later. And by later, I mean, like, right now. Wonder Pink just used that whip to rip a part of this alien robot thing's armor off, which is probably what the whip is going to be used for, which makes sense. And maybe there'll be like puzzles revolving around it, like say you gotta rip off a part of this alien's armor to reveal its weak points, and then you gotta like maybe hit him with it to damage him. It makes sense. There's that three-headed dragon, which looks pretty cool. That looks awesome. Oh, and even more theories as to why there are only 100 of them. Look on the back of Wonder Red's jacket. It says the Wonderful 101 symbol and 100. There's really probably only 100 heroes. And the player's 101st hero, as I already said. And we see what I think is the main villain. Let's take a look at him. He's got this cool sword. He's got a robot leg, and a fire tail, fire hair. His head looks like that of a serpent. He's wearing a weird cap, like a French beret, maybe. And bullets across his chest, like one of those bullet lines. I don't know what it's called. Weird. Maybe that's what the battle's gonna be like, and oops, pause too late. Remember when Wonder Blue had that weird total mask thing when he had 100 heroes? This is also Wonder Red putting it on. Now, I'm going to theorize as to a few things as to what I think this means. First, when you have 100 heroes and use like all of them in your Unite ability, maybe they put on this mask to symbolize like how much power it has. The second thing I think is maybe it's just a level up type thing when you gather enough, and it was just coincidence that he had 100 heroes with him. And third theory, probably it's just an upgrade you can buy, or maybe him just looking cool. And I kind of get a Dragon Ball Z-esque vibe, where he's like, ah, kind of like that. That wonderful logo again. I'm very sorry I said that. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? He used that giant bat to hit it back to him. And with that, the trailer is over. I'm very much looking forward to the Wonderful 101, and I think it's going to be a great game. And this trailer really looks cool. And, you know, I hope you enjoyed watching this. It's my first time trying to analyze a trailer, so if it's not very good, I'm new at this. So anyway, I thank you for watching. Goodbye. I said goodbye.